I don't know why I say I'll see you in a minute. Because it took about 5 seconds. Right. I've got no idea why I say I'll see you in a minute. Because it wouldn't make any difference if I restarted it again in 5 months' time, would it? You know, I could still say I'll see you in a minute. So now this is the next part. You've just seen that previous part, you've just seen all that photo etch going on there. So now we've got to decide on this breakwater now, because this is quite an undertaking to do this. But I think before we do it, there's these little bits here. Right, so let me see. Let me put the camera down. That doesn't make too much noise when I'm doing that. You see, this is right now. Damn! Oh, you stupid idiot! I can't move it, you see, because when I turn this, what have you done? When I turn this, it moves. Right, so we're up to here. I don't need that anymore. For the time being. I don't need that. I don't need that. Let's move stuff around. Now then. Oh God, look at the time. 12:30. It's already taken an hour. And that was only setting stuff up. Right, now where are we up to? Right, we're up to now. So as you can see, we've got a decent bit of the deck done now with photo etch. So we've got a couple of bits there I could probably want to do first. You can't see them, so where are we? Right, over here. So we've got M03. That belongs on the fin. It's come off of the fin and I need to put that back on at some point. So that's L. Be careful, mate, because you're bending that. So that's M03. M03. Okay, so that's that bit there. So this once again, you know, if you could obviously, you could have them all. I suppose you could do it with the, you know, you could turn all that over, I suppose, you know, but that would have to go inside, and that would have to go inside, and it would look like that. But then that would sit on there. It won't make any difference whatsoever, other than the fact, as I say, that with this, if you do it like that, you can have the two bits. You see, now that bit now is upside down, whereas I know that that bit, this bit with the sort of cross on, that's now come off anyway, would be a bit that would be on the, there would be a cover for the fin. Sorry, pointless having it on. I don't see the point of it. It's not going to achieve anything. It's not going to make it look any different. There's not going to be any change to it at all. So that's that bit. So we've got this that bit there. So that goes on that way. There's a lot to do on this deck as well, because all these holes, well, some of them are where the breakwater is, luckily, so you can work out where the breakwater is going. So that's not too bad. I don't know if you can see that or not. So that's not too bad. The breakwater comes out. It gives you an indication of where it's going to be. You see, having them bits on didn't make any difference to that. If I put them on, if I left them on, it made it look any different. Other than maybe having it raised up a bit. Raising up a bit. So that's looking a bit better again. So now, oh dear, bending stuff. Right, so now we've got these two here. So now we have a bit there, which is L05. And we're showing, yeah, L. So we now want two L05s. That's M, so we want a bigger one now. L. Ooh, big ones. Once again, it's not. I'm not going to use these bits open. As I say, to have them open, you would need to have the bits because it doesn't really make any sense, because if it's open, that bit with the little bit on it is what would hang up on the side. So it would look like that. And then this framework now wouldn't make any sense, would it? Because the framework without it sitting up like that. So I would have said that would have went the other way with that frame instead of being there. Because you switch it over, it doesn't make any sense either. So I would have said that framework would have worked better if it was the opposite way, on the opposite end. That frame would have been here. That would have sat on the thing, that would have sat inside, and then it would have all looked like it was open. So now that bit is going to go on there. I know this from looking at it in the anatomy of a ship book, that these were the, I mean, they were like protectors, weren't they? Right, so that bit's going to go there. They were like protectors, so if you had it, you see what's on there, you see you've got a hinge and a hinge. You probably can't see a hinge and a hinge, two little bits that go across and two little bits that go down. And on here you've got a hinge and a hinge, two little bits that go down, two little bits that go down. It's identical to that, except the plastic bit doesn't have anything in the centre. This bit, the photo etch bit, has the little handle in the centre. So that's where the plastic bit lets itself, well, not let it down, but where it's not right, where it's not totally correct, and that's flat, it's not curved. So it's not totally wrong. It's literally an identical piece. You can't see much difference from between the hinges and the little, whatever they are on the top of it, but it doesn't have the handle on it. So that means that you won't be able to open it if you relied on it being a plastic bit. So that's that down. This is where I sort of, do and don't like photo etch, really. I've said it before. I'm not a lover of photo etch, but it does have its place. It does make things look better. But it is, when you've got a kit like this, Trumpeter kits are very, very good. I heard that up that move. The Trumpeter kits are excellent. You know, I mean, I think they're the go-to at the moment. So the detail in a Trumpeter kit, turn that round. The detail in a Trumpeter kit is actually, you know, as good as the photo etch in some cases. So really, the photo etch is enhancing it. But to be fair, I could have finished this deck. Well, not finished it completely, but without putting all this photo etch on, I could have easily had it, kept it as it was, and it wouldn't have looked any different. Except for those little tiny bits. It's just those little bits, as I say, the fact that the photo etch has a handle on it is what gives it the advantage. Like that, just give it that advantage of that little tiny, simple little detail is enough to make it look better. I know that looks like a lot of glue on there, but the more glue you have, you don't necessarily have to have that much glue on, obviously, but the more you put on, the more time you've got to play about with it. Nothing worse than doing one of these and then finding that the glue always will dry instantly when you put it in a certain position. So if I'd have picked that up and dropped it with glue on, it would have dried instantly. So that technically now is all ready for painting. So that's not looking too bad now. There's quite a bit of detail now on that photo etch detail. So that, there's actually nothing else to do on that now. As far as these bits go, there's nothing, that doesn't have any photo etch. All of this will all have all of these spaces, and all of these are where you're gonna, this has like vents and boxes and all sorts of things on them. So they will all be built off the model. So a lot of what's going to, there's still a lot to do on it. So a lot of this now, you see, will have the boxes made up. So these are all, let me see if I can find some. So there's E7, E14, there's loads of little boxes. And there's all these little bits. They all go on after it's painted. I won't do that until they're painted. And a lot of the bits going around here, the little bits that you can see are where various vents go in. There's various winches, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's around 7 or 8 winches. Oh no, some of them are these. Oh God. Now these are really horrible. On that middle deck, the worst things to do with those hawser reels. They really are. They're so fragile on this. Well, wherever they are. They're so fragile. But they're open. They've got a cage-like effect. Whereas it was main on the actual thing itself, they don't have the cage-like effect. They are done with the solid pieces, so they're not the same. So there's nothing else to do on that now regarding that kind of stuff. Everything else now gets bits fitted on it. So what we're up to now is that we're up to building this. Now, this I have already got a theory about that I think will work out better. So the bit that's going to go in is this bit here. And I think what's going to be better for this is, rather than glue all these little bits that are going to be going in, strengtheners and all that, I reckon, I don't know if I'll be able to, but I think I'll be able to put the piece onto the deck first, then fit all the bits. Now this has to be, actually not got no fold line in that. That's a bit iffy. Now I would have said there would needed to have been a fold line there. That's not very good, is it? They're the same. You don't cut them across. And that there, you see, would have to fold in. I would have said there would have been a fold line there, but there's not. Because this is going to replace this. So obviously it's got to be on there like that. So I understand that bit there would go on there like that. So that's how that would look, and that would fold down there, and that would fold down there. And then the parts for all the bits to go on are here. Oh, that's a bit funny, that. I would have thought that would have had a fold line on there. That is really strange. And I don't know if that's going to fold very well. I'm not sure if that's going to fold as well as you want it to. I wasn't prepared for that. You see, that's going to fold over, and it's going to warp it. That I was unprepared for. I wasn't expecting that to be like that. I was expecting to see a fold line across the back there. It may make it more solid. I doubt it though, because I can already feel that piece going. Now I can't do it the other way around now, because I need the hand the other way. That's really sort of strange that they've done it that way. I wonder if, I would have thought it would have been better. I mean, maybe by doing it like that, it's maybe a bit more solid. But certainly that's now like that. So this is going to go on that way. So this will go very slightly down there. And this will go very slightly down there. So that's not too bad. So that's how it was. Now you see, now I've seen this done before as well. Now this is really interesting, because what you could do, now this is really strange because it's got the little nuts on the bottom there. What you could do, of course, is glue that onto the plastic piece and then put it in like that. I've seen that done before and it looks quite effective. it gives you the detail of all that without having to messing about putting all these in. Now that's really interesting because this is going to sit in there like that. So that's going to sit there like that. And then you've got all the little bits have to go into it. Now that's a really interesting little bit, that. And like I say, I think because the plastic has no detail, there is no difference. The plastic has the tabs in it. So the plastic has the tabs on. Where are they? So the plastic has the little tabs on there. So that would go like that. Now I reckon that might be a better way of doing it. Putting them tabs, gluing that onto there. It's very slightly different there. But this now needs to be closed up. I don't want to glue it. And the top is, where have I put that bit? So that bit there. No, that's the bottom. Just it to be the bottom. Right, now I reckon that this now needs to be closed up properly. Now I think this would be better like that. Doing this in stages. I reckon that's going to be better soldered. So let's get the solder man out. Right, now, so I can close that up with them. And that's now closed up solid. Now I might just do that. I might just decide not to put this. I'll have to decide on this. I'll have to decide how to do this. Because I think, as I say, I reckon that putting that onto the thing will do it. Now then, I have a nice new solder gun. I have that. Right, now let's get stuff out of the way first. So this is a bit fallen off, look. So that's another bit, you see, it hasn't got the... I suppose that makes it better in some ways, because it means it's not... So I'm trying to clear stuff up before I start soldering, because I don't want something stupid like that. Right, let's move all this rubbish out of the way. Right, now, you see, because if this works, then the box is the same. It might be worth soldering rather than gluing. The problem with gluing is it doesn't exactly come out really well. So I'll not turn that on yet because I don't want to. Right, let's put that on first. Won't come on at all if you don't put the switch down. Right, so let's put that on. I'll heat up. Now I usually set it to 70, 75-ish. I think this might be needing something like 80 for this thicker stuff. So let's just make sure we've got that closed in. So that's closed in perfectly fine. Let's get cleaned up. 375. Let me put it up to 385. Now then we've got this here. So this is the cleaner. Nice new tip. So that's got some solder. Got a bit of flux. So plenty of flux on that. This hopefully will be just fine. Right, now, let's have a look. Where are we? So now we want, we don't want too much. We only want enough to just let it run down through the flux. Needs a bit more to heat up, I think. That's not too bad. I think I need that hotter. Let's put it up to 400. So that's not too bad. I think it's the thing with the heat. You don't want too much in there. And it'll run down with the flux anyway. Put a bit more flux on that. It'll run down the flux anyway, so there you go. Let's follow the line of that flux I just put on. Not got any down the sides. I reckon this is thicker material than the ones I did before. You want it to be fairly straight because obviously this is the bottom. And obviously it can be filed down. I think that needs to be a little bit higher again. Let's put it up to 400 and put it up to 430. So much better than the sponge. I mean, look how clean that gets that. So much better than the sponge. Right, now, where am I up to? I just need to get a file. And we just need to, a little bit of sanding down. There you go, that's fairly neat. Yeah, that's all right. Not got any on the sides. So let's close that one up. Just a little bit there. So let's close that in quite nice. And that now is, so that's a lot neater. That's a lot neater soldering them. And I'm no professional solder, by the way. But there you go, you can see that. It's lovely and neat. So now we've got to get this bit here. So that bit has to be closed in. Now then, can I get this a bit longer, this bit? Gotta get that closed up. Right, there you go. So let's close that in. to work out now how to close that up. I was keeping this on the ground. This is where it gets a bit complicated. Let's see if I can do it better with this one. I think this one will have to be done in bits, because this I can't close that in very well. Right, there you go. So that'll close that. Right. I don't want to put too much in it, because if you do, the heat will dissipate, won't it? Right, so don't want to bend it, do you? Right, now this is fairly solid, so let's just bend that one out a bit. Okay, that's better. Okay, I shouldn't have bent that bit over. I should have left that to the very end, because I need to get this down here so that is fully closed in. Right, so I think it's a case of doing this in sections. Right, let's close it. Plenty of flux on it. Of course, it would be a good idea to get some sort of, I wouldn't advise doing this like this, by the way, but I haven't got a extractor fan. Let's just get that warmed up a bit. Doesn't need a lot, you see. Once it follows that flux, then it's fine. Now that's heating up because I can feel it. They do tend to sort of, the tips do tend to get dirty too quickly. Far too quickly. Where's all my solder going? It's not going anywhere. Right, let's got that in. Right, bear with me. I think I need a bit more flux. I actually, years and years and years ago, when I worked in a garage, I used to do soldering, but not like this. The soldering I used to do is use a soldering gun. And that's gone across there just fine. I really shouldn't do this. No, I should really have my mask on, shouldn't I? Although that's heating up quite well, I can feel the heat in that. Now then. So I'm holding my breath so I don't get any of them fumes. There you go. So that needs just a bit there, a little bit there. Right, so that's that. Right, bear with me. That's that bit done. See, if you fold it, if you file it while it's still warm, it files off a lot better. So that's that bit done. No solder on the edges. It's solid. Now then, I need to still move that even with solder because I've left a little bit out the corner. I haven't gone into that corner so that it can be moved. So now I need to close that bit up there. Like I say, I used to work in a garage years ago as an apprentice, but soldering then, and you used to use a soldering gun. You get, you know, I mean, I've actually seen people doing soldering with this stuff, not necessarily this bit, but with a little blowtorch and heating this metal up with a blowtorch. Because the problem is these take away the heat, so the heat dissipates. Don't want to go too far up there because I haven't closed that bit yet. Right now, I reckon, can we put a bit more on this? How high does this thing go? Oh, it goes even further up. Right, let's put it up to 480. I don't know if 480 is a bit too warm, but and when I used to do that in a garage, it was a lot easier to do. Oh, that's better. Amazing what a bit of heat will do, isn't it? Oh, look at that. Right, so I've got to remember that. Oh, look at that, eh? Look at that. That's 480. You see, when I did the, oh, them things that hang over the side of the ship. I did, ow. Right now, so now we need to close that bit up. So I did the davits. I decided that it was best to solder them. It's so much nicer than, so much better than gluing them together. It just makes them better. They just work out better. And they're solid, whereas this limp of stuff, glue, can too easily come apart. But like I was saying, it was with the davits, I had them set at 375, and that worked just fine at 375 because they were thin material. Whereas this, being a lot thicker, does need that extra bit of heat. I think that is, no, there you go. Oh, look at that. So you've got to remember that now with these thick ones, 480. Right, there you go. Oh, there's a bit there. That's come apart. I'm putting solder in that bit. Right, now I need to close that bit up. Didn't want to solder that open. Right, now let's see if I might just be able to get that solder to go between that. Rather than adding any more, I might be able to get it to roll down. There's a bit in there. Let's come apart again. There's always a bit that's going to mesh up in there. Right now, I think what's happening, even with this heat, set this high. Idiot. It's all right. I just remembered what I did. I went on about health and safety. I went and got my mask and I've not put it on. What an idiot. Shouldn't really laugh because it's probably not good for your health breathing this stuff in. I mean, it's almost certainly not good for your health, is it? There you go. Amazing what a bit of flux. Right, I need a little gap there to bend it back in. Right, there you go. Let's turn the soldering iron off. Don't need that on anymore. Must remember next time to put my mask on. So that goes in like that. That goes like that. No solder on the outside, no solder on the inside. And there you go. So that's soldered up nicely. A little bit more tidying up on that. They will now bend because I've left a little gap for them to bend. So now I have to make this decision on how to do it. Whether to put that bit in, where are we? Whether to put it in like that. That just needs to go there. And that fits just raised up a little bit, just there. That's this one here. That's fine. Just a bit of messing about with that, we'll get that. But that's gone in there just right. So that now will need, I reckon that's with this. It's not the solder. I think it's where I've not fully completely bent it. Oh no, there you go. Right, so that needs to go like that. It's got to fit, so then corners are on them holes. So that's fine. So that fits. Once it's in there, it will fit just fine. It's not being glued in yet, so it's just got the two corners have to sit on them holes there. On them holes there. So that needs to just move in very, very slightly. That's where you leave them little bits. This is where you don't want to keep messing about, of course. Because but now you see how that bit has now brought that bit up. This is where you don't want to keep messing about moving this in and out, because eventually it will snap off. Although because there is no bit on it, there you go. That corner's on that hole, that corner's on that hole, that corner's in that hole, and that corner's in that hole. So that's what that's going to look like if I stick with the photo etch like that. So now it's a question of putting all the bits in there. Just needs a bit of fining down on the solder there. But that's not too bad, that looks alright. And I think, you see, normally what I would have done is glued that on the deck there. But there's not really a lot to grip on the deck. I would have glued that on the deck and then glued all the little pieces in individually on the deck, so you would have got them looking better. But I reckon that looks pretty good. So I think normally what I would try and do is solder all them little pieces in. But but I don't think I can get to it. But that's not looking too bad, is it? Right, now. So that's alright, that looks quite good. As I say, a little bit of tidying up, but as you can see, the solder is, ignore the 2 gaps in the corner. I left them like I say, so I knew I would have to bend it. But as you can see, that's soldered it together, and that's a lot better than gluing it all in. Whereas if you glue it in, you've got to mess about putting it all together, and that would, if I wanted to, yeah, look at that, eh? Perfect fit. Look at that. Now you see, I could glue that onto there like that. The advantage would be that I've then got all this detail that's in here. See that plastic bit? Let's see if I can get close in. So that plastic bit, as you can see, there's no detail in that. It's just a piece of plastic. Whereas if I put that in there, and I put that in together like that, well, it will hold anyway. But now you can see this has got all the detail in it. You see there's quite a bit of detail in that. In fact, there's a lot of detail in it. I don't know whether the camera's picking it up very well, but that has got quite a lot of detail in that. So it's got the detail of the rivets and all them little boys. It's picking it up there quite good. Trying to get it as close as I can without it going out of focus. So that's got all that detail in. Now, the other thing now is when you put these together, let me move that to one side before I put my hands on it. I might just do that like that, because I reckon that when you come to put all these little, you can't see because I've not got the camera down there, when you come to put all these little bits together, all these little triangular bits and these bits here, so when you come to put all these bits in, that's these bits here, and these bits going across here, they are no different than what's from that plastic bit. In fact, they're identical. It might come out a little bit more. Let's see now, F10, but it's E, not F, of course. So it'll be F, so it'll be E22, which is these bits here. And those bits are literally the same as them bits. There's no difference between them. There's literally no difference between them. And the inside of this, I don't know, the inside of it has all the rivet detail in it. See, the inside of that has a lot of rivet detail in there. So if I glue that onto there, which would work out just fine, I would let you put it on the deck easier. You can't see what I'm doing because I've got all of it in my hand. If I glue that onto there like that, I'm going to lose all that detail, aren't I? So I think the next job is going to be to glue them bits in and then get this ready for gluing onto the deck. So we'll see that. I might start putting that together at some point. Not right now. But that is looking quite good. You know, you can see it going down there. See it going across. You see the detail in there now. Whereas you can't see it in it's like I say, if I use the plastic part, I put the plastic part in, there's no detail in it. You see that now, it's just plain plastic. You know, no rivet detail in that bit of plastic. So we'll see about that. I've got that to fall back on if needs be. Right, dog needs to go out for a walk. 1. So that's a fair bit of photoage on that deck now. That's looking quite impressive. That now, I reckon, because that's, I mean, it's a bit weird really, isn't it? Because when you put the bit in, like so, and then you put that bit in, and the little bits are all in place. It's actually quite high up. Whereas here it's not so high up. And it only goes one way. If I put it that way, it's pushing down, not up. I think it goes that way. Because that won't go that way. If I put that way, it's down. If I put it that way, it's up. So that's like that. That's going to be like that. So I now need to stop, have a bit of lunch, take my dog for a walk. And then what I'll probably do is now all that photoage I've put on the deck and all these little bits. So all these little bits, actually I've got 1, 2, 3, I've got 3 bits to make up there. That's these parts here, that one bit is missing. And so those there's 3 little tiny bits have to be made up. I think they're in one of these, so these bits here. So then bits there. I have to make 3 of them up and they fit on there. They replace these little plastic ones. So let me get that back up there. So that's that bit done. Hope you enjoyed that. I'm impressed with that. I might change that now. But I'll have to remember that. Because there's going to be loads of bits that need soldering. But some bits like that. And I'm quite impressed with that. I must say. I'm highly impressed with that. You know, I still think that's a neat bit of soldering. I think that's a lovely bit of soldering. And I've got no solder on the outside, no solder on the inside. As I say, the 2 corners are left to move the bits in and out. So that's just needs a bit of tidying up. If I could do it, I would put those bits that are going to go inside that, I would solder them in there, but that's going to be too much of a problem. So bits like that, they do benefit from being soldered. The same once I come to do it. This is another one, you see. This is what will become the box. So I might solder them together. Now that's got various areas that have to be bent up into a box. Now on here, now you can see the actual bits there where the bend will be. So that's got, you can just about make them out there. So that's got the bits where the bend will go, whereas some other bits didn't have that. But they will probably work out better for being solid, because I've moved that now. I've pulled that backwards and forwards about 4 or 5 times. And normally, of course, that many times bending a bit of photos back and forward, it would snap off. So that's that done. I must remember to put my mask on next time I do some soldering. Stupid breathing the solder fumes in. I mean, I'm not going to die tomorrow, but I hope not. They are a godsend. You know, I mean, usually you would have a little bit of sponge in the bottom of that, and you would clean the soldering iron with sponge. They are so much better. And then you can buy the tips on Amazon for £6 for 10. So I'll just replace that tip now. I've noticed with these tips now, you don't get much life out of them. You only get a little bit of time out of them, and then they're no good. See, I mean, look at that. Look how blue that is. And that's obviously from overheating. So it's always worth just buying these cheap. They're really cheap. It's better to have a dozen cheap tips. So I'm putting a new tip on the soldering iron as I'm talking. It's better to have a load of cheap tips. That's better. That's no longer hot. So you can see from that tip, you know, how it's gone blue now with heat. The tip is all up. I reckon you get about 20 minutes use out of them, and they're not really much cop. So it's better to just, you know, like I say, these tips here. And you can buy the fine tips. So you buy these fine tips, they're only cheap on Amazon. So that's not looking too bad now. That's looking quite impressive actually. So I'm now going to take the dog out for a walk, stop for lunch, decide what to do this afternoon, whether to do any more to it this afternoon. And then I think I might start painting all these bits up in grey, get this deck painted, and then we're ready to start adding details to it, all these bits and bobs. And that's not looking too bad. We just put that where it belongs. So that belongs in there. That belongs in there. That will eventually go in there. So that, just put it carefully, roughly, as it would be on the model. Bear with me and I'll show you. First off, let's get this out of the way. Don't need that vise anymore. Come out. We just get all this stuff out of the way. Put that out of the way. It's alright, I'll show you the model once I get stuff out of the way. You won't be able to see it all, I don't think. But, well, I suppose I could take the camera. No, I can't take the camera over to it. I've got it on a stand and I can't move it. At least I can't move it very well. Right, now, that'll go there. Put that out of the way for now. And put that there. Those Tamiya benders are a godsend as well. They work so well. Put that there, put that over here for now. Put that up there. Put that out of the way, put that out of the way. So now, so here's the model. So this is how the model is looking now. So the centre deck is done, all painted up, ready to get done. So that's that done. And I can move it about because it's on the thing. So you can see that's all painted up nicely. The hawser reels, they were horrible things to do, are painted up beige. I didn't want to paint them red. I've seen them painted red, but I didn't want to do that. I don't want to move it too far because it will slip off the end. So the bow deck is, the stern deck is done. There's the stern deck, there are all the guns on there. The glass bags are painted ocean grey. I mixed a bit of white into the ocean grey to lighten it up. They're painted with that. The two, whatever they are on the end. I've seen dinghies on the end of them. And these are the bits I was talking about, these davits. They're soldered. But they're the ones that I only use 370 degrees solder. So got to remember them different things. So let's move that along very carefully. Make sure I don't break it. Now you can see what I've done now today. Make sure I don't touch anything on there. And now you can see how that's going to look with the guns there, and with that bit, with that photo etch bit in there, it's going to look quite good. You know, that's not looking too bad. Those guns, once they're painted up, will look better. Yeah, that's the photo etch breakwater is a lot better than that plastic one, isn't it? Looks so much nicer. So as I said earlier on, that's the beauty of photo etch. It does hold its place in certain areas. So that's looking not too bad. That's looking like a decent bit of a boat now. I'll have a few comments, won't it? Best way to get comments, isn't it? A lovely boat I'm just making. I did that once before. I can't remember where it was. I wasn't on YouTube. It was on, I think it was on Facebook. I might have put on Facebook when I was building the Titanic. And it's just a saying, isn't it? It's like, you know, it's just a saying. It's a thing that you say. And I put up on Facebook. I put a picture up of the Titanic on Facebook. And somebody had commented and said, this is way back when I was at a stage when I was building whatever. I can't remember what bits I was doing now. It was so long ago. It was probably about a year and a half, 2 years ago. And somebody had commented on how good it looked. And said, oh, well, now that's looking good. The details are going to be good on that. And I said, yeah, she's a lovely boat. And I didn't have some comments. It's the only time I've ever had really bad comments on YouTube, on Facebook. Usually I don't get any rubbish comments on Facebook. I thought they're all the way around. I wondered why that's alright. I wondered why the breakwater looked weird. It's because I had it upside down. So it's a shame that all this, because once the what's the name deck is in place, you're not going to see any of that. The shelter deck will cover that up. And I've already had the shelter deck on, it fits perfectly. You just got to be very careful putting the shelter deck on because you can tend to knock the railings. I've knocked that railing there. I don't know if you can see it, you probably can't because I've got it the wrong way around. Where are we? Yeah, now just here, I've knocked this railing here. Just bent the railing out, which is not a problem. I have got spare railings if I want to replace it. Not the whole railing, that section. But that will be displayed away from where you view it. So that's looking quite good actually. Let me just move that out of the way because I know what will happen when I move the camera. And this is the beauty, by the way, of building the model. Building that model on pedestals on a board. You can move it around. And once that is now done, the deck will be put in place. I can't glue the middle deck in yet because part of the section of the middle deck glues onto that power deck. But once the decks are glued in place, a lot of that work can be done as is on the actual ship. You don't have to touch the model. You never touch the model, apart from maybe just a bit of steadying here and there. But I digress. So that's that. Hope you enjoyed that. Feel free to make any comments. I didn't mean to call it a boat, it's a ship. And it's not even a ship, is it? It's well, it is a ship, but it's a cruiser, you know. It's such a nice looking boat, isn't it? I mean, look at that, eh? It's so sleek, it's so, you know, it's such a lovely, lovely ship. It's just a shame the sheer loss of life in the when it went down. But it's such a nice model, it's such a nice ship. You know, I mean, they just don't make them like that anymore, which is a good job because it wasn't made to cruise. It was made to kill people and to go to war, unfortunately, sadly, you know. But I digress, I'm not going to get morbid about it. So I'll see you all again. I'll probably not put another video up now from doesn't make any difference, does it? I'm going to say I won't put another video up now until after the weekend, but it won't make any difference. I could put another video up in 20 days' time and then just put the date in that I recorded it on such and such a date, and no difference. So I hope you enjoyed that, everybody. I look forward to seeing you all again. Hopefully the soldering will improve. I'm rather chuffed with that soldering. Brand new solder iron helps. And that soldering iron, by the way, costs £6.99 off Amazon. And all the various bits to it might have been a bit more. No, it was £6.99. Cheap soldering iron. I was going to buy a soldering station, which was about 47 quid. And I thought, no, hang on a minute. If I buy a separate soldering iron, it doesn't need to be an all singing, all dancing, super duper soldering iron. Just needs to solder. And that one does. And you get all the bits with that. You get it in a pack. You get. I keep saying I'm going. You get a tub of solder. You get everything that you give you scraps. You get the stand. You get all the various bits. So it's best to do that and then buy that cleaner separate. And the whole thing cost about with the cleaner I reckon about 17 quid. As opposed to 45 quid for a fancy station sat beside you. We might have all the bits and pieces on it. They might be all electrically, thermostatically sealed and working, but it doesn't do any different. At the end of the day, you're not soldering loads and loads and loads of bits. So I'll see you all again in the next video. Thank you for watching, everybody. Feel free to put any likes up. It's alright, I'm just looking out the window. It's nice and sunny. Albeit cold out there, but it's sunny. So I will see you all again soon. Thank you for watching. Enjoy your modelling. Enjoy your weekends and whatever you're doing. I'll see you all again in the near future. Bye bye.